Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Eddie Marcus here again. I was talking to some people just the other day, and it appeared as if the conversation, which usually is a normal conversation, a give and take about situations that might be discussed, but I noticed something different. It was as if an insertion of God and right and wrong. And I began to focus on that, and I'm trying to see what significance does that have in the conversation as far as an understanding goes. And I'm beginning to think back how often I speak to you, and I'm always speaking about God and right and this and that. And I'm thinking perhaps I might be sounding to you the same as he or this group of people are coming off to me. And if it is, here we are in a situation where in earlier times we have terminologies, we have expressions that are common amongst us, and we use this to communicate. But as time passes on, things usually change, and we have different ways of expressing ourselves to one another, even expressing ourselves to more than what we perhaps had previously. And all of these things, they mature, they grow, and sometimes we grow out of age of an expression, maybe not the result of an desire, but the expression of it gets lost. And so I'm perceiving that perhaps this is what is happening when it comes down to God. We all know that we own nothing. We know we bring nothing into this world with us, and we know when we leave, we take nothing away, meaning we own nothing. Nothing. And however we try to analyze and conceptualize what's going on with our being, the reality of it is that we exist. Now, for me, I have spent a lot of time focusing on some things that were very important to me. And I perhaps thought it might have had something to do with my creation, how I'm put together. And when I think about it, it's a wonderful way to be put together. It would be better if the results that were sought after were really found. And so what I'm saying to the people of the world today, and I'm saying it in a sense that I hope that you understand, I want to, first of all, to know that there is a God. Every last one of us who are listening or seeing what's going on right now, we do so because there's not only just a God, but there's a God in you that allows all of these things to happen that's happening. And there's a great surprise for you and us when we die that you will see then, and I will see. But here's what I want you to understand, ladies and gentlemen. The stories that we have heard, they all had significance. And the stories of today have just the same quality of significance. It's just that we have been lured away from the understanding. We know that it's possible because we, human beings, have been given the authority to create heaven and hell, or heaven or hell. We have that power. We cannot curse a devil, even though devil is the term that we like to put on those actions that we commit, that we are so ashamed of, that we say the devil did it. And then they are very seldom the times, but it happens occasionally, when a good act takes place, a wonderful act takes place. It's so wonderful, in fact, that we cannot deny it, even though we have not been changed to it. We don't really become a part of it, but we know it's real. And it works so successful against the common way of doing things until, though we know it's right, we, the people who are of ignorance and love to do the things that we do, will kill it. And to justify our killing it, but our love for it, we'll create statues, we'll do memorials, we'll create holidays, to say that this was good. However, we keep on walking down the same track that we keep on walking on. Here we are with the power to create heaven or hell. We've been taught to pray for power beyond ourselves to come and do it for us. We know that there is a power greater than ourselves, and we do pray to it. What we don't understand is that it's not going to show his hand. Why? Because that power that you're praying to lives within you. But it's not all you. It's a combination of all of you come together, create the body of God. That means what? That we do those kinds of things that embraces what we say we seek. And that's peace, that's prosperity, that's joy. We look at people all over the world and we see all kinds of suffering going on, but we've been taught to believe that money, that's a substitute for God. You got money, you can do anything in the world that you want to do. But as you get this money, as you amass this money, you find out that you want to hold on to that money like you never held on to it before. Not that you don't want to spend it. You just want to make sure that you get the benefit of it and nobody else, except that which you can get away with by writing off with taxes. I see a world, my friends, and I'm not ashamed of it, where everything was made to be in perfection. The wherewithal for this is amongst us. Things that needs to be done are supposed to be done by those who love doing it. It is their purpose for being in existence. We've learned to make shift, shade tree, do our own thing, driving us crazy, messing up all kinds of things. And you go along with it because you do not know and understand the significance of the other way. The other way brings that peace. This does not. This makes your city look like ghettos, makes your towns and your states and your nations look like hellholes. But my message to you, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who want to be lovers, is that there are tsunamis that are happening in places of the world. There are hurricanes and tornadoes and storms like never before. And many are convinced that these storms are made by man. These destructive measures that's taking place in our midst are the results of our mental thinking. And people are suffering. And we are saying, well, it hasn't happened to us yet. Stay around. But what do we do while we are staying around? I say to you that change our way. Recognize that money is not God. Money is not God. This is why there's so much poverty. Money is not God. That's why there's so much crime and violence. Money is not God. That's why there's terrorism and war. Money is not God. That's why there's hate and bigotry in the land. But it will help you if you got some, and you got to get some by bowing to the dictates of those who says money is okay. For me, I've suffered. I've chosen to suffer because that way, the way that we do things, creates all of those negative things that I've just mentioned. And I don't want to be a part of it. My wife will tell you there are things that needs to be done in our house. But I, who have always done them, have come to the understanding that it is supposed to be done by professionals. I don't have the money to pay them to do it. And why do I allow that to happen? I allow it to happen to keep me aware of the world that I'm living in. To make me know that just because mine is fixed, I don't understand or care about those who's not fixed. I keep mine down too until what? Until the professionals can do it. And when that happens, they can do it for all of us. To me, that's meaning what you say. That's standing for something. And I know it is because for those who got, they love it. You can bet those that don't would as well. Key is, why don't they? Because of the system in which we live under. Money is the God, and money will not permit that to happen. Not yet. And so I'm suggesting to you that we appreciate one another. Every last one of us, from a baby to the one that's dying, got some gift that we can share continuously to the world as long as there's life in us. And we have the authority to end that whenever we choose. That's our right. But as we live according to the rules that produces the peace, the prosperity, and the joy, then we have no desire to do anything but live. And when I'm speaking of that, I'm not talking about you as an individual alone. I'm talking about the whole human race. And in order for that to happen, we have to respect each other. That our gifts are designed to be a part of a bigger us. And so we put nothing that will cause one to stumble from realizing their dream, because their dream is a part of the bigger dream, and that's heaven on earth. The hell, the heaven is truly in our hands. So I don't want terrorism. I don't want war. I'm tired of it. I don't want crime and violence. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of poverty. I'm not angry. I'm just tired of it. And why am I tired? Because I know it does not have to exist. And it disturbs me sometimes when you empower it to exist. I don't care what you say. You don't know, so I have to tell you, you are the reason that these things exist. You say, well, I didn't have anything to do with it, but you go along with it. And why do you go along with it? Because you don't know of anything better. And whoever is telling you better is just talking and not walking, and you do not see the light of God within that, and so you're still in your midst of the wilderness. So I come to tell you that we can create heaven by loving one another, by making sure that those who have been in these tsunamis, those whose houses have been burned down through the wildfires and the hurricanes have just taken them places where they'd rather not be. We got the power to mend that. First of all, if mankind is playing a role in it, stop it. That'll be a great big part of the problem eliminated. And where those things are natural, we have designed our living in such a way that nobody suffers. This is the vision of a man who can say, I am one with the power of life. And there's no shame in my game for that. When you look at me, I used to be a good-looking man. Now I'm old and falling apart. And a lot of this here stuff would have been, if we had lived under a different system. All of us who are getting ugly like I am, we could have forgone this under a different system. But this is the result of the system in which we live under. You know it, and for those of you who are still young, you know what you think about old people. Keep living. But I want to tell you something. You don't have to end up like we are ending up. We now are trying to take a stand. In fact, we are taking a stand. You can learn from this and empower the stand, and you will be the beautiful, wonderful life that we helped you to have. This heaven or hell that we speak of, don't blame the devil for your hell. You did it. You did it. And don't give God the credit for the heaven that you create. Why? Because you did it. You did it. And God will give you praise for doing it. Until next time, this is Eddie Marcus saying goodbye.